What's good, everybody? This your boy AJ, and it feels so good to be back after such a long time. Welcome to Level Up Media, where we talking about all about cameras, live streaming, photography, videography, all of that good stuff. So if that's of interest to you, consider subscribing to this channel. But in the meantime, let's jump into this content. So, y'all looking for a new camera and you're not quite sure what to get, right? Well, look, I'm gonna give you 10 quick tips to help you when buying a new camera. Number one, image quality. When you're looking for a new camera, you want a camera that is going to produce a clear, solid image for you. In this case, you're looking at things like your resolution and whether or not it can produce sharp, clear images. So when you're looking for a camera and you're looking at image quality, check out some sample images from that camera in particular. Most companies' websites will have sample images that come straight from that camera. So make sure you check that out. Number two, lens compatibility. Lenses is where the money is. Any photographer or videographer will tell you that a good quality lens is where the money is. Most of these lenses are going to be interchangeable, meaning you can take the lens off and put another one on. And honestly, most companies, they have a huge selection of lenses for you to choose from. Canon, Sony, Nikon, all of those have a wide variety of lenses to choose from, even most coming from third parties like Tamron, Sigma, you name it. There's probably a third party lens out there that will match the camera that you're looking at. Number three, the sensor size. Now, the sensor size really comes into play on a number of different things. And here, when we're talking about sensor size, there's three different types to look for. You have full frame, which mimics a traditional 35mm film. You have APS-C or crop sensor, and those are typically going to be a bit smaller than the full frame, with a 1.6 times magnification on that particular sensor. And then you have micro four thirds, which is going to be even smaller than an APS-C sensor rather. A micro four thirds sensor has twice the magnification as a full frame sensor. Now, why is your sensor size important? When we're talking sensor size, one thing you're looking at is your low light capability. A full frame sensor is going to be able to take in much more light than, say, an APS-C sensor or a micro four thirds. A full frame sensor is going to make your image a lot clearer, a lot sharper, resolution is going to be better, and it's going to perform a lot better in low light. But that doesn't mean that those particular cameras don't have their place. APS-C and micro four thirds both have benefits over full frame, but that's a whole nother conversation. The fourth thing you want to look for is the shooting speed. Now, what do we mean by the shooting speed? This is generally referred to as shutter speed, and the shutter speed basically refers to how fast your shutter opens and closes when taking those pictures. Now, this particular spec comes into play when determining what kind of photography that you're doing. Are you doing sports photography or wildlife? If so, you're going to want something with a faster shutter. At that point, we're looking at cameras that can shoot 10 frames per second, 15 frames per second, some even going up to 30 frames per second. Now, that's fast. Now, if you don't need something that fast, say you're photographing a wedding or just, regular family portraits. You don't need one that's going to go that fast. And when looking at shutter speed, you're also going to want to take into account the autofocus capabilities. Does it focus well? What kind of tracking does it have? Does it have face tracking, eye tracking? Can it track cars, animals, all types of different movement? Pay attention to those types of things when looking for a new camera. Fifth, video recording. Most cameras nowadays are going to come with at least 1080p. That's the standard. If you can go higher, say to a camera that shoots in 4K, perfect. Those are pretty much the standards nowadays, is 4K, especially when doing client work. They want something with a higher resolution, something that's going to be a lot more crispy, something that's going to look a lot more clean. If you're doing content creation like YouTube, things like that, honestly, 1080p will do you just fine, because YouTube only outputs in 1080p. That's not to say a higher resolution isn't going to be good. A higher resolution is going to be much better. There are cameras out there that shoot in 8K, which is bananas to even think about, but yeah, some cameras shoot in 8K. The question is, do you need that? Is that a necessity for what you're going for? The sixth thing we want to talk about is the size and weight of the camera itself. Why is this important? Size and weight comes into play when we're talking about transporting your camera, holding your camera. Sometimes you're on a shoot all day and you're carrying your camera. Is it light enough for you, to be able to carry around with you all day long? Are you just doing vlogs? Do you need something compact? If so, that might be for you. Are you doing heavy shoots where, you have to switch lenses and you're really taking it, again, we're talking about client work, then, you may want something that's going to be a little bit bigger, something a bit more professional looking. Bottom line is, you really want something that is going to be easy and comfortable for you to carry based on your situation. Number 7, battery life. Battery life is one of those tricky ones. Full frame cameras typically come with a much bigger battery, which means they can last a lot longer than, say, your APS-C cameras. Your battery life is really going to play a big part in how long you get to shoot, whether it's photography or videography. Now, if battery life is something that may become a hassle, there are a couple different ways around that. 1, you can get extra batteries. 2, get you a battery grip. Battery grip is just an attachment that attaches to the bottom of your camera, and it allows you to add multiple batteries to it, therefore prolonging the life of the camera. Either way, you want to consider how long those batteries are going to last you. Number 8 is more so of a quality of life type of thing. We're looking at your connectivity. Does this camera contain Wi-Fi? Does it have Bluetooth? Those are some of those, again, quality of life things that you want to look at, decide whether or not that's really important to you. But they do have their benefits. With the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth, sometimes you can connect to different apps, remote shutters and whatnot, that make your shooting a lot easier. In particular with this camera, the camera that I'm shooting on, the Canon T7i, it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capability. Now with the Wi-Fi, I use it to connect to the Canon app, where I can monitor my video, I can download pictures and videos from my camera to my phone, and just have really easy, solid connectivity between the two devices, therefore making whatever I'm doing a lot easier to manage. Number 9, price. Now I know some of you are thinking that this should have been a little bit higher up on the list, but what you understand is when you go down the list, then you can kind of talk about price. Once you figure out exactly what you want out of your camera, then you can look at the price of the different cameras that are in that range. Some cameras are going to start at about $300–400. Some cameras are honestly going to go up to about $6,000 and beyond. But again, after you determine what it is you're looking for out of your camera, then you can kind of select the price range and say, okay, I want to spend X amount of dollars on the camera, lens, and maybe a few accessories. And finally, number 10, brand reputation. How well known is the brand of camera that you're looking at? Most camera brands nowadays are pretty well known. Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fujifilm, and the list can go on and on. But the brand reputation is the last thing I want to look at, because I want to know, is the company that I'm choosing, are they known for making high quality gear? Because the last thing you want is your camera breaking on you in the middle of a shoot for no reason at all. So I hope these 10 tips help you when looking at a new camera. If so, go ahead, drop a like, drop a comment down below. Let me know what it is, what camera that you're looking at, and what features that you guys are looking for the most. And if you're new here, again, consider subscribing for more content just like this. In the meantime, between time, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching the video. Peace.